We've got some breaking news we want to share with you out of the UK. Prince Philip has been admitted to hospital. Buckingham Palace says the Duke was brought to the King Edward VII Hospital in London last night. The palace says it's a precautionary measure because he was feeling unwell. He is expected to remain there for a few days of observation and rest. The Duke is 99 years old. Royal sources say his illness is not related to COVID-19. The Duke and the Queen have been staying at Windsor Castle during the lockdown, and as we understand it, she is still there in Windsor. I want to bring in Richard Berthelsen, CTV's royal commentator. Richard, good morning. Glad you could be with us to shed some light on this breaking news. What do we know so far? The fact that this was not considered to be an emergency admission, what does that tell you?
Well, I think it obviously is, puts us in a situation of a bit precautionary, a bit of a walk-in patient, as it were. Obviously, he had to be transported from Windsor to London, but apparently he went in a car like one would expect. I think it's interesting the palace did not make an announcement at the time he went in. It's come out afternoon London time, so that almost, just a little under 24 hours after he was admitted. So it suggests perhaps it wasn't as serious, but I think they felt that given the potential for this information to leak out to the media when he is in the hospital, although the King Edward VII Hospital is a highly discreet, a highly secure place, I think they felt it was probably prudent to let the information be public. And of course, their statement has suggested there's no immediate cause for concern.
Is it unusual that the Queen would stay behind in Windsor and not be with her husband while he was in hospital, Richard?
Not at all. We've seen the Duke of Edinburgh go into hospital several times since the Diamond Jubilee celebrations in 2012, that famous moment when he missed the balcony appearance because he had a bladder infection. The Queen was not, at his bedside every moment. She goes, when she can to visit. Of course, now the COVID situation makes it, I think, a little more precarious for her to do so. We do know that the Queen and the Duke both had, as they refer to it in the UK, jabs of the COVID vaccine. So they are protected to that extent. And of course, they've been living an extremely careful lifestyle out at Windsor. So I don't think there's anything to be read into that. I think the Queen probably will let the Duke be in hospital on his own without wanting to disrupt the hospital or really to put herself in the potential for any more, exposure to the virus by walking into a hospital.
And according to royal sources, the prince does not have a COVID-19 related illness, whether or not it was a rapid test that indicated that, or as you mentioned, Richard, the fact that he has been vaccinated against COVID-19 could also be a factor. 99 years old, that is a long life. What can you tell us about the prince's health?
Well, I think the prince has had a number of health issues since 2012 in particular. That was such a dramatic moment when he missed the last half of the Diamond Jubilee weekend. We have seen the Duke in the hospital a few times over Christmas. The most recent was the Christmas of 2019. Now that we were told that was a scheduled operation of some kind. The palace has always been a bit vague, but we do know the prince has had some bladder issues. We do know he's had a bit of a cardiac issue of some kind, although nothing to prevent him from living what has been an extremely full life. And, there have been other issues that one would expect, I think. I remember the last time he was in Toronto, he seemed to have very, very black marks on his face, which possibly suggests some kind of maybe blood condition or otherwise. So we have seen him in hospital here and there, a couple of Christmases for sure, and on other occasions. I don't think it's anything unusual. He has been leading a very quiet, by his standards, life, doing lots of reading, walking, occasionally carriage riding, but not so much of that lately. So, he has had in his mind, I'm sure, a very, very relaxing retirement of 2 or 3 years since he officially left the public stage. And of course, we were gearing up for his 100th birthday this June.
This June. Okay. Richard Berthelsen, thank you so much for all of that. Again, the breaking news this morning that we're following out of the UK, Prince Philip has traveled by car to hospital. It was not an emergency admission, according to royal sources. He did walk into the hospital unaided. And again, they're also saying that this is not a COVID-19 related illness. We will continue to follow this throughout the day.